Good morning, product bosses. Happy Bosses and Breakfast Day. We're so excited to kick off today. It is the last day of doors being open for Multi-Stream Machine. We are so excited about all of the brands and all of the businesses that are joining. So, congratulations if you've signed up this round, and just really proud of all of you that made the leap. So, say hello as you're joining us this morning. So, I see Annika's on. We have some Facebook users. Just as a heads up, since we're kind of kicking off a little slow today, if you, for example, someone who wrote "Good morning" with a little sun, I don't see your name. I just see Facebook user. So in order for us to be able to see your names, Jennifer has dropped it in where please make sure to tell Facebook you're friends with StreamYard so that we can see your name. So all you have to do is go to streamyard.com/Facebook. And then StreamYard will ask to access your Facebook name and picture. And if you accept, then we'll be able to actually see your name. So then
Hi,
we'll be
good
able to see
morning.
like Amanda Lee and Annika and all the people. Hi.
Running a little bit late. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Happy Bosses and Breakfast. Oh, I got to sneeze
Good
too, I
morning.
think. Okay, it's gone.
Do you have to do that every time? No, you just have to do it one time and then it'll recognize your name forever. So like we can see both Amanda, we can see Amanda Lee, Jenny, Annika. The person said you have to do that every time. You just have to connect it the one time and then we can easily see it. So oh, it was Rachel. Okay. Hey, Elaine. Good morning. All right. So excited today to kick it off. So say hi in the comments and let us know what you are drinking this morning.
Uh-huh.
I've got a day old oat milk latte.
Oh, day old. Do you just pop them in the fridge?
So last night my husband, or not last night, yesterday, like 3 p.m., my husband brought me an oat milk latte from Whole Foods, and it was a savior, and I drank a little bit, but then I didn't finish it, and so I put it in the fridge, and I'm gonna see how it is. I've added ice to it.
I'm sure it's fine. I have similar thing. I have a shake,
Delicious.
but it has like espresso and almond milk in it. So
Chocolate milk for Amanda Lee. Salted caramel Dunkin' latte. Sounds delicious. Chocolate banana smoothie for Christina.
ooh, that sounds good.
Water. Good morning from the UK. Hey, Megan. Good afternoon. It's actually probably more tea time. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was it 4 or 5 o'clock for you? Maybe dinner time. Okay. So are you ready to go on the Instagram?
Yeah. I forgot I have to shut my door. Sorry. It's been kind of a mess this morning. So
It's okay. It's
be right
Wednesday.
back. Yeah.
It's late start. Green tea for is it Micah or Mika? How do you say your name? Water 40 ounces done for the day. Holy moly, 40 ounces. I'm doing 4 of these bottles. So my nutritionist says to have 32 ounces. So half your water weight. No, half your weight, not water weight, in water. So I'm on my second bottle, I think, this morning. Mika. Okay, thank you. Mika, thank you. Good morning, Tina in New Jersey. It's a nice day today if you can get outside.
Oh my gosh,
4
it's so
p.m. in
cool
the UK.
today.
Mhm.
It's it was 1 degree this morning. The kids bundled up, but it felt like 16. You know how it tells you like the wind chill? I don't think they'll go out for recess today. Like
1 degree.
I know, isn't that insane?
Yeah, it's supposed to get up to
definitely
60
changed.
today here.
Oh my gosh, that was day before yesterday. And even the girls were like, "Remember those 2 days?"
Yeah. Julie, you test is I can see your name. So Julie Sloan, I can see your name. And hi, good morning. All right. So it looks like you got your thing set up. Do you have your earbud?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep, I'm
So
ready
I'm
to
gonna
go
go
on.
live.
I'm ready to
Okay.
go on Instagram.
All right. I'm gonna jump on the Instagram, my friends. Good morning, Instagram. It is Bosses and Breakfast, and we've got a fun one for you today. So, as you are all starting to join us, say hello in the comments. Today is the last day that Multi-Stream Machine doors are open to the public. The doors slam shut today at 7 p.m. So, if you have not signed up yet, head over to multistreammachine.com. Link is in the bio, and you can sign up and grab your spot and change the course of your business starting today. So, we're really excited for all of our new students that have signed up. And good morning to Noel Craft and Ooh But a Baby. Hey, Minna.
Hey, so the kids, they saw this confetti all over from happy hour last night celebrating the new students. And they were like, "Mama, did you do a confetti thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you guys get to vacuum this up. Won't that be fun?" So they're really looking forward to that. And then they're like, "Well, what were you doing? What were you celebrating?" And I was like, "New students." And they're like, "Oh, what's the new student's name?" I was like, "No, no, it's a whole bunch of new students." And then so Layla was like, "Yeah, but what's their names?" I was like, "I don't know what their exact names are."
They're
It's
like,
like,
"You're
"I
gonna have
know."
to read
Yeah.
the
I was
confetti
like,
wall."
"I know one of them's name is Tanisha, because from last night, you know?" And so she was like, "Oh, a girl or a boy?" I was like, "Oh, it's a girl." And so, like they get really excited about new students. So she was very pumped about celebrating all of you. So we had a full on conversation about the new students this morning.
Amazing. Noel Craft says, "Morning, my first time joining the live, and I have been listening to your podcast, and it's changed the whole way of thinking towards my business." That's
Ooh,
incredible.
yay.
Welcome to your first Bosses and Breakfast with us. So yeah, so our Bosses and Breakfast tends to be a little bit of a morning show mixed with some education, talking product-based businesses. Our love language is talking business. So we're really excited about today. But like I said, so how many people that are joining live have just signed up for multi-stream machines? So you could just say new if you've just signed up for multi-stream machine, and if you've been in it, you could type in multi-stream machine or MSM student. And then anyone that's on the fence about joining, we have just a little over 8 hours until the doors close. And so I would recommend you go check out the page. It's multistreammachine.com and take a look, because the doors are going to slam shut tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you don't want to miss out on this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah. I think it's
I'm
so
just
much fun seeing, oh, new Soul and Luna.
welcome to
Yay.
Multi-Stream Machine.
Awesome. Dry Creek
Amazing.
Woodworking, I know, is new to Multi-Stream Machine too.
Mhm. Really excited. And then over on Facebook, it looks like this one Facebook user with the hands up is new. We can't see your name, but welcome to Multi-Stream Machine. And then we have a lot of students. Leslie, I signed up yesterday. Already started 2K in 30 days and made my first 1% back towards it already from Fox and Rainbow.
Awesome.
Amazing. I like the percentages. So Leslie took
Mhm.
us up on signing up for multi-stream machine and got the bonus, which is 2K in 30 days, which is $2,000 in 30 days. Yesterday signed up and has already made some money back from it. So do you
Mhm.
feel invigorated, Leslie? Do you feel like you've got tools?
That's the tiny bit of the snowball that starts it all, Leslie, so congratulations.
Yes, congrats. Julie over on Instagram says, "I signed up last fall, but only now getting the time to start the modules. And I'm so thankful for my past self for making this investment." Julie, congratulations on
Yay.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So today I thought it would be kind of fun too. We're going to talk a little bit about breaking down your goals, but I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of like vision casting and future casting. I was thinking about all the students, having that conversation with my daughter. And I was thinking about, how we usually are like the 2K in 30 days. What could you do in with the $2,000, right? And I was thinking about, how a lot of people, when they're thinking about their lives and you're thinking about, the future self of yourself, most times you're thinking about like what you want to do. Like I know one person that started, she wanted to get off of Etsy. Now she still puts the pedal to the metal on Etsy, but she started her own website, for example, and wanted to get traffic there. Another person wanted to pay for vacations, right? So it really feels a bit more like pen to paper. Like if you were to write down right now what your life was in 1 year or 3 years, what would it for real look like? So a year from now, you would just be so drastically different, right? So I
Mhm.
thought that one might be like a little fun exercise as we're talking about like the doors closing, because it is the first, it is when we're going to slam shut the doors, and then you know you won't have this opportunity again until deep into the fall time. So what could your life look like even from till then? But I think that for the first step of all that is actually sitting down and thinking for yourself, well, what does my life look like? I gave the example of the person that wanted to get off of Etsy. Like she sat down, thought about, okay, I know I don't want to stay on Etsy, but she ended up staying on Etsy. But I know I want to not be dependent on Etsy. So my life would look like that I wasn't dependent on there. And what do I need to do? Well, I need to start an email list to push people to my Shopify site. I need to um, think about my photos and how those customers are different from those other people. So she really thought about like the things that she needed to do. So I think before we go into there, I think it might be fun just to vision what our lives could even look like in 4 months, 5 months,
Mhm.
6 months.
Mhm. So how do you want to start?
Yeah, so I think that if you were to have a piece of paper in front of you, so exercise, just like if you were in school, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, what does your life look like in 12 months? Let's do 12 months. I was going to say 3 years, but 3 years feels so, so far away. You know,
So when you say what does their life look like in 12 months, how do you kind of figure that out, right? Like how do we what
I
do they
think
want it to look like in 12 months?
Yeah, I think for the most part, all of us have this like big thing that we want to happen in our business. Like, I want to hit 6 figures, or I want to create my own website, or I want to open my own boutique. These are things that we've heard, right? Like these big dreams that people have had that are kind of like back burner things, and that if they were to write that down, they would be like, yeah, that's what I've always wanted. I wanted to see myself on the shelves of boutiques. I wanted to get onto Amazon. I wanted to, just various things. So if you guys could help me out here with some examples of things that you think that for a year from now, what is it that you've always wanted in your business? Like, why did you create your business to be able to supplement your life? What did it look like?
So here, I'll give an example. Okay, I'm going to go back to when I was a product boss and starting out or trying to generate revenue. So I remember when I started, I was like, I had created a business plan and I knew if I sold 7,000 units, I could hit $1 million. Let's say that was in my brain. And it wasn't $1 million in a year. I was just like, how can my product based business generate $1 million in my head? 7,000 units that I had to sell. Okay. But why did I want to do that? So for you, why did you start your own business, right? Is it freedom of time? Is it that you want to leave your full-time job? Is that you want to have extra cash to go on vacation? So let's say a year from now, 12 months from now, wherever you're at, you're like, okay, I'm making 2,000 more dollars a month. So that could be a year from now, I'm making 2,000 additional dollars a month in my business. I'm not working, 80 hours a week, but rather I feel like I have more time bought back in my day and I'm able to, let's say, pick my kids up from school, not work on weekends unless I choose to. I'm going on 2 vacations a year.
Mhm.
Maybe one international,
Okay, I
one
think
domestic.
just try to pick one. So let's try to do this Knoll Lake Crafts, which I really like this, right? I want to be able to earn enough money to quit my day job. Okay, that's perfect. When I first started, I remember I wanted to make $60,000. That was more than it was what I was making with working 20 hours a week. So I knew that that would be ideal. Now, if I really wanted to get dream bigger, I knew that I wanted to replace my husband's income. So then I would have to add that in there, right? So if I were to let's say, you're making $40,000 at your job right now, how could you make $40,000, right? Your goal then is to replace your income as it is. I bumped it up to 60 because of, let's say cost of goods and all that stuff, So that was what it started out for me. I thought if I could make $60,000, that would be great because I knew that okay, I would be making $1,000 a week. That's 4,000, but then I'd have these other costs and taxes, right? So I thought in my mind, it was really easy for me, like $60,000, and it didn't feel like 7,000 units, but I did do the same thing that you did. I broke it down backwards. Like what would it take? What does that really entail? 60 or $60,000 is $5,000 a month.
A month.
So $5,000 a month. And how do I make $5,000 a month? Well, I would need to sell this number of things, this many labels, but let's say I bundled up the labels, right? Then I would need to sell this many bundles of the labels, right? So it was like an average. And so that really helped me understand that, okay, it felt like I had a target in mind, okay. Instead of like my life looking like a dream, I was able to think $60,000. Okay, I could probably do that. Now, how can I actually do that? You know? And so then the first part of that, when I said, okay, well, I have to sell a whole bunch of labels. So instead, maybe what I need to do is to get onto Amazon with my bundles. So I'm going to figure out what my bundles look like. It felt very real in the photos I was taking, the descriptions I was doing, the email pushes I was making. And then it was like, okay, all I have to do is make $5,000 a month. But that was my big dream. So, I could start with $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, or whatever that looks like, right? Yes, Annika. So, Annika says, I need to sell 400 undies a week to make $1 million. Now, that is $1 million, right? Most of us won't make $1 million within the first year, So, that might be 3 years, 5 years, that sort of thing. But so $400 a week, it might be, or 400 undies a week. So when you first started at the 100,000, how many undies do you have to sell for $100,000, Annika? Because that would just be 40. Is that
I was
right?
gonna
No,
say,
no.
did we do that
Yeah.
math that quick? Because I'm gonna be really impressed by us. I was gonna say 40, so let's see. So I'm gonna just read a couple things that people have said. So Melissa and another Facebook user said, "A year from now, I want to be one of your examples of a success story on Bestseller Secrets or
Hey.
Bosses and Breakfast." Ty says, "I would love to sell my product in retail stores and become a job creator." I love that. Tina says, "I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to be up and running on Amazon and hopefully generating enough money to renovate our kitchen in a year." Angie wants to be a
Oh,
six-figure
okay.
business.
Let's go back to that kitchen one. How much is your kitchen budget to renovate? Because when you say, I want to renovate our kitchen, that feels very open, right? But how much have you set do you are you thinking about your budget for your kitchen? So let's say I want to renovate my kitchen and it's going to cost me $5,000, right?
Nope, it's gonna cost more like 40.
Well, I mean, depends on how much you wanna renovate. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah. So, Tina's like $75,000. Okay, if she wants to do that, then she breaks up the number, right? So then it feels like it's not like a loose number if I feel like I want to renovate my kitchen, but it's like, "Oh, okay, my kitchen renovation, I paid for that." When Annika was talking about IVF, she knew exactly how much that IVF would be to make a baby from science, was what she called it. She knew exactly what she was going for to hit a target of, the cost of IVF. So same with all of us, right? So 36 undies. Yeah, we did do a pretty good job. 36 undies per week for 100,000, right? So she broke it down even there. That's to get to the $100,000 business, right?
Mhm.
So take your whatever you put into the chat and the comments even a little bit further. Attach a number to it, a metric.
So let's say Tina has 75,000. I'm just gonna go off the 60,000 because it's an easy number right now. So $5,000 a month would be 60,000. Let's say you make a little bit more during your busy season, so during the holiday time. So Tina, can you add a way to generate $5,000 in additional profit from revenue per month? And in a year, you can do your kitchen because you have that money assigned somewhere. So make the money you're making, but maybe you bring on an additional revenue stream. Maybe you raise your cart value and you've got this goal of, okay, I need to add an additional $5,000 a month to be more profitable, which means pricing margins and also to sell some more and to be in more places. And then you could start to see, and this is the same idea of saving, right? Like if we're going to go
Yeah,
like
it totally is.
Dave
But no, but
Ramsey.
people shut their brains off when they're like, "I need to save up for this. It's gonna take a long time." This is a fun way of doing it, visioning first and working your way backwards.
Yeah, and it's not always saving. It's you have all of you have the potential to make as much money as you want. There is no limit to money. Money is um infinite. And I say that because nobody in the world is ever going to have all the money in the world, right? So money is infinite. And for all of us, $75,000, 100,000, even $1 million, while some of these numbers seem big to us, to other people these numbers seem small. So when you think about this, right, money is infinite. You can always make more money, and you all have products that you get to sell, which is something that not everybody has. So not everybody has something to sell. They don't have a service or a good, and you have good. So Fatima says, I need to sell 65 cake toppers a month to make 2K a month. Okay, now break that down,
Mhm,
Fatima, into each week, how many units?
mhm.
Right? And then you work against that unit. So then you're like, okay, I need to sell 15 a week, let's say. All right. Then what are you going to do to sell 15 a week? We're really like close on our math today, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going to
know, it's
jinx
like we're
us, but we're like
geniuses.
guesstimating. I know it's like we could divide
So
65 into 4 to 5.
yeah, if she wants to overdo it, right? So then let's just say 16 cake toppers. That would make her reach over $2,000 a month. So 16 cake toppers. And then every single week on Sunday, she would be like, okay, I need to jump into a multi stream machine. How can I sell those 15 cake toppers per week. Okay. Well, I don't really feel like selling
She said
15.
17. Let's do 17.
17. Okay. I don't really feel like selling 17. So I'm going to sell 2 packs of these, but only sell 9 now. I'm going for 9 2 packs now this week just to mix things up and keep it fun. So, how would I do that? Okay. I'm going to take photos of the 2 pack. I'm going to set into the calendar that I'm going to go live on Thursday or whatever. You don't have to go live, but you can send out an email, right? And I'm going to sell, my goal is 9 2 packs. Okay. That's how I'm going to hit my goal this week. Next week on Sunday, you're like, oh, okay, back to 17. I know that that's the number that I wanted. I'm going to sell 17 cake toppers. How do I do that? Okay. Well, I'm going to send out an email with a focus on the new cake toppers that we have in collection. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do this week with a goal of 17 per week. So, it might be, okay, now this week I have an in-person thing planned. So I'm going to sell 17 at this in-person craft show that I'm at. Or I'm going to get into the door of this local boutique. I know that if I get into one, that covers me for basically the entire month. Right. So that's what I'm talking about. If you really attach a number to it, it feels easier because you're focused. Is that helpful?
For me, it is. I take this from Stacy, who's my life coach, but she says math, not drama. And even last night, me and I were breaking down numbers because we do this all the time when we're projecting out our year and all the
Which,
things. And
as bosses of your business, I hope that all of you are too, you know?
yeah. So, for example, we were looking at the numbers. So, when you look at your revenue, like last night we talked about profit margins and or no, that was in our mastermind. But we talk a lot about profit margins. So there's that, but then it's also looking at numbers. So if you attach a number to it, instead of feeling overwhelmed by I need to make $2,000, but I don't know how.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
need to make $2,000. I'm going to do simple math and figure out, well, how many? So Fatima said, okay, I need to sell 65 cake toppers a month for a 2K month, right? Then it was like 17 per week. Okay. And now Fatima said, yes, if I bundled my cake toppers with my banners, they'd be $55 per bundle. So then Fatima, how many bundles of 55 do you need to sell a week to hit $2,000? Do you see how simple? Do you see how simple this is for people? Like, do you see how simple it is? Like, a lot of times we get wrapped up in Tina's $75,000. If you asked me to save 75,000, that feels really overwhelming. Where do
Yeah.
I save that 75,000? Like, where does that come from? But then if I look at it the other way and say, okay, 75,000, I have something to sell. How many units do I have to sell? And then I break it down in these smaller projects, smaller time amounts, and give myself these smaller goals. So here, let's go to Fatima. So now instead of her having to sell 65 cake toppers a month to make 2,000 a month, now she only has to sell 37 bundles a month, which is almost half of
Mm-hmm.
the 65. So 37 bundles a month, 10 bundles a week. So from 17 individual cake toppers to 10 bundles a week. Now, what
Yep.
if Fatima sold bundles and individual cake toppers, right? Now you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing that 2,000 can easily be raised from that, right? But do you see, Fatima, how easy
But
that
she
is? Like
doesn't
how we
even
broke
have
those
to
numbers
raise
down?
it, right? Because then she wouldn't feel the pressure of the next month, which might be a dip or
Right.
something, let's say. Okay. So also Noel Craft said, so simple. I just worked it out and I would only need to sell 2 kits a day, which feels so much more achievable. That's right. Because it feels so much more achievable and less overwhelming. And
Right.
here's the best part. Here's the best part is that after let's say 12 months of doing this, you've actually reached your version of the vision that you presented for yourself, that goal, that dream that you had, right? So, whatever, because we had worked our way backwards, we're actually going forward to whatever it was. So you don't end up where you don't want to be. It actually was that you achieved whatever that, 24,000 because I want to renovate my kitchen. Or like I gave the example of, Annika and IVF, she knew the exact number and she went towards it. So it didn't feel like, what do I do? Where do I go? What if I don't like where I end up? It was that you worked your way backwards and you're working your way forwards, and it feels very achievable because you're doing it step by step.
Yeah. Brooke says, I love this. And I love that Noel Craft feels it's simple, much more easy when broken down from Lil J's. So
Mhm.
yes, so that's the thing, right? This is how we teach all of you. It's the idea of you simplifying this process. Because if the weight of your goal is sitting on your shoulders and you already are struggling with selling and you're already struggling with your visibility and your marketing, if you're already struggling with your systems, that's why, for example, last week we taught Bestseller Secrets Challenge because we wanted to make it simple. Say, okay, what if we only focus on your bestsellers to start? What if that was that initial momentum for you and you improved your bestsellers? We know for a fact 100% that if you know a bestseller and you improve it, you improve your margins, you improve the way it shows up in the world, you improve your sales, then you will start to see the forward movement, the action, the revenue
Mhm.
that you're hoping for. We believe the same thing for these numbers, right? You can all, that's why I said last night, you can all and should all be able to make $2,000 a month selling whatever you sell in the world. You should all be able to do it. And it's simple because it's numbers. So exactly, Fatima said, it does feel good to actually write it out. And I actually sold my first bundle yesterday based off the Bestseller Secrets Challenge. So proof that Fatima's bundles work. And now
Mhm.
Fatima only has to sell 10 a week to make $2,000 a month. That
Yeah.
seems very doable, even if you have a few hundred people following you on social media, for example, or a small email list or no lists at all. Make
Right.
sense?
And I will tell you why it feels good to write it out. It's because you have a plan that's already there. So, for example, when you're writing it out, you're writing out the plan, you're breaking it down into what we like to do is 90-day sections of time, right? Quarters for the year.
Roadmaps, yeah.
Yeah, roadmaps. So, when you're writing it down, you're able to see, oh, this is what I wanted. And I broke it up into the 12 months into 4 months at a time. So I can evaluate, right? And that's why when you're writing it down, it's very helpful. And that's also why it's very helpful in your multi-stream machine, because the thing that gets you stuck is the writing it down but not knowing how, right? So it's like when you're a student in class, because we all know you're working on your businesses. We all know that, pen to paper, you're writing it down, but how? But how, right? So when you're thinking about things in a different mindset, and I love whoever had said that at the beginning had said, my mind has completely switched. It's because we haven't been able to understand how do we as small business entrepreneurs really make it happen with the right, I don't wanna say curriculum, but that's kind of what it is. It's the right tools, right? The know-how that you don't know what you don't know, and it needs to be broken up for you, and
Mhm.
that's the way we all have best learned. So while you're writing it down, you have this toolbox of, "Okay, I know that this is what I want to do. I want to renovate my kitchen, and it's gonna cost me this much. I'm gonna circle it." Broken up every single month, I would need to sell this many kits in order to reach that. And then, but how do I do it? Okay. Well, don't waste any time. Jump into multi-stream machine. And it literally is your action steps. So you're able to not only think about it, but you're actually able to implement it. So I think that those two things of you actually having writing down the plan and reflecting on what you want and actually having the resources and the tools and the support to do it is the thing that gets you to whatever you had wanted in the beginning, that vision that we casted with you. Does that
Amazing.
make
So Tina,
sense?
yeah, let us know in the comments if that makes sense. So Tina says, we would have to sell 40 dog collars, but if we do collar and leash bundle, we would only need to sell about 20 bundles. Much easier to think about.
Right.
Totally. Totally, right? So this is the simplicity of it. So I want you all to not get overwhelmed. And some people last night had said to us, someone had said, I'm in the hole, right? Like I'm in the hole and it's hard to sign up for MSM right now because I'm in the red and my spouse isn't really cool with it because I'm so far in the red. Well, these simple sort of tips, right? Where we've just helped Fatima and we've just helped Tina figure out, okay, all I have to do is sell 10 a week, right? Or 20 a month. It feels easier because if you are overwhelmed and you feel like this hamster on a wheel and you just don't know how to get off that wheel and you're just like, I don't know what to do
You don't know
next.
what to focus on. You don't
Yeah,
know if it's going to work, you
that
know.
movement let's talk about a stationary bike. You're on a stationary bike. and you're not really going anywhere. You're just on a stationary bike, right? So that's what a lot of people are stuck right now. They're just on the stationary bike, but they want to get to the top of the hill and over to the other side. So you've got to get off the stationary bike, get on a real bike, and you put in the work, but at least you have direction, right? And you've got support. You're biking up that hill with other
Yeah,
people.
you're not biking in the wrong direction
Yeah, and
to
you're
get
not
over the
stationary
hill.
anymore, right? We want you to
Yeah.
take this forward movement. We want you to actually go somewhere. And so that's what I see for all of you. It's like, how do we get you in the direction you want to go? It's going to take the work to get up the hill, but it'll be easier on that other side, right? That down when you go up, you're going to come down, and that going downhill is going to feel easy.
But
Not you're not going
you
downhill, but
actually
it's
have
easier.
to invest in the real bike,
Mhm.
and
And you need
that's
to
the
train for it. You need to put
yeah,
in the work
so
to get up that hill.
you have to actually do the pedaling, but the thing is, you have to, like, in order to get off the stationary bike and get onto the actual bike, you have to say, "I'd like to invest in this real bike into myself, into my business, so I know that I can get to the other side of it." Instead of staying on the stationary bike and hoping gravity does its work and you kind of plummet down and then up, who knows, you might end up on the other side, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing is it does take something different than what you're currently doing if you want to be able to get there without wasting the time, the headache, the stress, the overwhelm, and have some focus in mind. So that we broke it down in a really simple way that not only do you have the plan now, you broke down the numbers, you broke down, what your life could look like, what your goal was. That was your goal, where your path to profit would lead. And now you just need the how, and that is multi-stream machine.
Yes. So what are we going to stop doing, right? What is something you're all going to say, like, I'm just not going to do anymore? Or what is something you want to add on or start to do that you haven't been doing that you're like, that's the thing. That's the thing that's going to start to help push me up and over that hill, right? So bundling, great. So Tina and Fatima came up with bundles. Now, how are you going to sell those? Are you going to email? Are
Yeah,
you
because
going
bundles
to,
is only just a piece of the puzzle, right, Jacqueline? Just
right?
like Instagram, it's just those are tools and strategy, but it won't just take you thinking, I'm gonna do bundles, and that's gonna solve everything, right?
Right. So is it that you're getting it up on your website? Someone said emails with an upside down happy face, but you might send an email. Like a lot of people in the last week have sent emails and actually seen emails work. Are you going to
Mhm,
build your email list against those bundles, right? You might say, I have 10. Let's just say Tina goes on and says, like, I'm introducing bundles, collar and leash bundles, 10 available, like first to DM me, right? Or sharing it. How are you going to share it with the world? So
mhm,
are you going to put it on on your on your website? Is it going to be your banner image? But how are you going to get traffic there? Are you going to send emails? Do you have an email list? Are you building your emails? Are you going to do it on social? But you have to show up to sell on social media, right? You have to have something to do. Melissa says, I'm going to be consistent and organized. So you're all figuring out how easy it can be. You have the product. Now we figured out how many units or bundles per week we need to sell to add, let's say, that $2,000. And now you need to get the people there and you need to convert them. So Leslie says, I don't have email marketing lists. I need this sort ASAP. I've just worked out that if I only sell my bestseller, then I need 160 sleepover squad sets a month to hit 2,000. Okay. So Leslie, the help is in Multi-Stream Machine. I'm not sure if you signed up, but we have a how to build your email list, which was a bonus.
mhm. I think she did. She was Fox and Rainbow, right? She
Okay.
was
Yeah. So grab that bonus, right? We gave you this bonus yesterday of the email templates to start to sell them, and you start to build your list slowly. Do you make $2,000 tomorrow? Not necessarily, but you got to start somewhere, right? So you can do it. So you just yes, that's her. Okay. So you just need to bring the people in and learn to convert them, and that's absolutely what we teach you inside of the program.
mhm,
Okay.
right.
So, any questions from anybody that is still on the fence? Because multi-stream machine doors close in just a few hours. Today's the last day from
Last
what
day, do
La-
it. I can't
last
believe it's
day.
last day. It's, like, insane to think about, you
I mean, we've
know?
been doing this since the beginning of January.
Do it, sign up, doors are closing, and then it'll be 4 months, 5 months, 6 months till we open them again.
Again, don't
Whenever
go with
I haven't
numbers,
done the
but
math. Yeah.
7
My
months.
brain. 7 months. Wow. You better sign up.
Yeah, don't make it's 7. Mika says, "This is helpful. I'll need to sell 10 bundles a week. I think if I send an email announcing it's easier to shop with us, etc., and get some lifestyle photos and bundles being used in the same place. Amazing. Pray for me. I almost have my husband there. Alicia, we
Yeah,
are
remind
praying
him
for
that
you.
it's tax write-offable. Remind him that, I think that for husbands, they don't wanna see you struggling either, right? And so invite him in if he wants to be invited to hearing us talk about the program or anything like that, but, um, get him on board. You can do it. You'll need the investment in yourself. Mindy
Yeah.
says, "Do it. I've listened to all the modules and implemented all of them as I continue to grow my business, going back into multi-stream machine to listen again since I'm at a new stage of business. So worth investment." And Mindy is made for Mama Shop.
Mhm. Now, this is from Fitz Fit Stitch
Fit
Gear,
Stitch
sorry.
gear. Uh-huh.
So small for my old eyes at this point.
Yeah, and
I
the
know I
confetti in the
need it.
background.
Yeah, it's over Mina's face. I know I need it, but I don't have time to move through the info. I love you ladies and everything you do. So here's what I wanna say to anyone that feels like they don't have time to move through it. One, you're on Bosses and Breakfast with us, okay? So if you feel like even these simple tips are easy, here's the coolest thing about our program, okay, for you, my friend, that you don't need the time to go through all of it. You just need the time to go into what you need right now. So because you have lifetime access to this, because it's not all dripped out, meaning like I'm overwhelmed when I sign up for courses, I get overwhelmed when I'm like, I went through a live course. I get access to it forever, but I went through a live course and I got overwhelmed because it's like I cannot show up every week for this course when it tells me I need to show up. I need to show up when I'm ready to do it, and then when I get busy or I want to implement something, I pull back, I implement, and then I'll come back when I need it. And there's courses that we've owned for years that we'll come back to because once it's all released, you get access to it. Now, for you, my friend, let's say there's a couple things you're like, I like this, but I don't have time. Well, I think important things to make time for would be your systems. So really figuring out a plan, figuring out your system. So am I priced correctly? Do I have
Which
the right kind
be
of inventory?
essentially giving yourself back time if you figured out inventory and shipping that we gave you the tools and you aren't having to figure that out on your own.
Mhm.
You're literally saving yourself time.
Yeah. But you do not have to go through 40 hours of
Yeah.
content in the next few weeks. You could go through an hour of content. If you already listen to our podcast, I'm going to
Mhm.
say it, don't listen to our podcast and consume the content within the course until you're implementing, right? Bring on one small piece because like we said today, okay, so you all went through 5 days with us last week and it was just a little bit of training and you figured out your best sellers, which a lot
Yep.
of people here are seeing results of using bestseller bundles or bundles. That was one small action that's driving sales already. So all you need to do, I think the thing that I want you all to know when you're feeling time constraint is it's not about the time, it's about the commitment. It's about the small hinges swing big doors. Small micro changes in your businesses are going to be the thing that makes the biggest impact. It's not needing to, the overwhelming is like, I'm going to start selling wholesale, but I have all the things I need to do for wholesale. Don't do that right now if you don't feel like you have the time. Go into the little micro actions because if you're showing up on social, it might as well be converting. If you're showing up
Yeah.
on social, you might as well be building your email list, right? If you are selling something, you might as well be going through the systems. So I just want you all to not worry about the time and know that you have access to this forever and you'll go through it at your own pace and you will come back to it when you need it because it's there for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Um, Okay, Fatima says, I bought a year content. I just need to know how to build my email list. That is inside of MSM, Fatima, if you joined, or I think you might still be on the fence. Anne says, is this for a business you were starting is it also for someone who has joined a network marketing system or is a year of content better for me? Okay. So a year of content is a tool. A year of content is $37 investment and it has content prompts for you all to use to show up and have things to talk about because most of you have said, I know I need to show up. I know I need to show up on social media. I know I need to
Mhm.
show up in my email, but I just don't know what to say without sounding salesy. Okay. So that for all of you is the thing that why there's a year of content, but it is
Yeah,
in
there's
no way.
simply idea prompts.
Mhm. There's no way that that is any sort of replacement. It's just a starting off point for multi-stream machine. Multi-stream machine are the strategies. Multi-stream machine is the how. So if you are like, I don't have enough people that know about, you can do all the content in the world. But if you don't have an email list, if you don't have people watching you, if you don't know how to get new eyes to your business, it doesn't matter how much content you create if you're not able to gain new eyes. And we've talked about this. Mark Zuckerberg on
Yeah.
Facebook is not going to give you the eyes
If
for
you
free.
don't have the right pricing, you'll never know how to use that content. So while it's like having a saw, but not knowing how to build the house, right? So that's a year of content versus what we teach you in multi-stream machine, right? You get a saw, but multi-stream machine is actually a business, right? But in a simple way, systems that you'll need so you don't lose money and you know your price and that you know that you can be profitable, that you are going to be profitable, right?
Mhm.
Visibility, which is bringing in new eyes, more brand awareness. So then that way you can actually have new people and existing people buy from you. Sales, because as a small business, you'll need to sell in more than one place. But you start with one, always start with one, obviously, but you'll be able to grow from there, from the snowball. So we give you sustainability, like longevity in sales, so year of content is literally a saw compared to machinery building an entire house.
I mean, it's giving you the road, it's giving you the construction plans, it's giving you the how to build it, right? It's telling you use these screws and use those screws. It's telling you this
Mhm.
is how you put the roof on the house. It's giving you every component you need to start generating revenue like the results we've given you. And someone just signed up for MSM, but Anne says, thank you. I'm going to sign up. I'm so pleased I watched this. Anne, we're so excited for you to
Yay,
join.
Anne. And Anne, if
Um,
you did sign up for network marketing, it says that you did. That's perfect because a lot of people that do start with Mindy of Made for Mama started in network marketing. She ended up building her own business, but it will give you tools and access to our modules that other people within that what you're already doing do not currently have. So it will give you
mhm.
an edge there too.
So Kara just signed up. So welcome, Kara. Are you watching live? If you are, say hi. I want to celebrate you
Yay,
live.
Kara.
Okay, so someone else wrote here on Instagram about time. Joy
Okay.
within Hawaii said, I also felt like I didn't have the time right now, but I've started listening. So they joined Multi-Stream Machine and hope to start putting in the changes as I'm able, one step at a time.
Yep.
How do you eat an entire cake? One bite at a time.
Yep, you sure
Okay.
do.
So and the cool thing
And
is
you
it's not
do
a,
the right spoon. So I have a great analogy, right?
oh,
Because a
great.
lot of people, okay, I love how, the Hawaii business was saying that she listened first because a lot of times I'll listen first too, and then I'll re-listen because it reinforces, "Oh, okay, this is how I want to do it." I'm able to play around with it in my mind a little bit better that way. But like a lot of times if people want to eat a cake, yes, one spoonful at a time. But what if you don't have a spoon? Well, you're not gonna be able to do a chopstick by one chopstick, right? So you have to be able to really think about, okay, I have this cake in front of me. How am I going to have the best strategy? Well, I'm going to listen to Jacqueline and Minna, where they're like, okay, first divide up these tiers, grab a spoon and do it bite, 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 bite. I know that sounds ridiculous and simple, but like it's the simplest things that can change your business and how you approach things because we are all wired differently. We always think about things a little bit
I was
differently.
thinking of just putting it up to my mouth and eating it without a spoon.
That would
But
be
I
my
do want to
daughter's
say
method.
it's not a contest, right? It's not a food eating
Yeah.
contest. So you get to take your time eating that entire cake. It doesn't have to be in the next 30
Frosting
minutes or the
first,
next hour,
perhaps. That's a strategy.
over the next week. I remember from a Sex and the City a really long time ago, Miranda was like, she threw, I think, a cake away into the garbage, or like maybe it was pizza because she was trying to avoid eating it. And then
Uh-huh.
she kept looking at the garbage, and then she eventually goes to like pull it out of the garbage to keep eating it. Um, so And I'm telling you, I've
Yeah,
had that
cover the
thought sometimes.
garbage.
But anyways, but that's the thing, right? That's for all of you. Like, this is not a contest in speed or time. This is not something that's stripped out in speed or time. This is not something that's going away in the next week. This is something that you have access to. And so you can keep coming back. Carmen remembers that, right? I think about it all the time when I'm like, I gotta throw this away or else I'm gonna eat it. And then I look at the garbage and I think, well, Miranda ate it out of the garbage. I might one day eat it out of the garbage. Jamie says, I joined last fall and listened to the modules while I was baking orders. Then, as I implemented things, I found more time in going back through the modules while implementing the actions of the modules I'm watching. I love that.
Yeah, I love
Small
that too.
Margie just said, OMG, I just threw out pizza so I wouldn't eat it. And then Joy within Hawaii says, and unlike an actual cake with multi-stream machine, we can consume the bites over and over. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the cake that keeps
calorie
giving.
free. You get the cake topper, you get the cake sprinkles, you get
Can
the
you tell that
cake.
we've been live like every day and we're at the very like we're
Now we've
trying.
gone loony. But, I mean, everybody's down for it, sounds like, so I'm glad, right? You've been on the journey with us.
We've also made a lot of people hungry for a lot of things in the last week and all the things we've talked about as examples. So what other things are kind of getting in all of your way as you're thinking, we got a couple questions earlier, is this for a business that's just starting out or someone who is doing XYZ? We've gotten someone who said, timing feels like it's in my way. What else for those of you, and please don't, this is
Mhm,
the last time Mina and I are showing up live to answer these kinds of questions. So please take advantage of the time with us because you've got
mhm.
us. We do have our team answering a lot of questions, but you have us right now. So,
Yeah.
is there a monthly payment option? Good question. So, there is. So, you can sign up today for just one payment of $387, followed by 5 additional payments. And I know, and think about what we taught you earlier today. So, thinking about how we told you how you could make money, let's go to the $387. How many
Mhm.
products would you have to sell, or how many sales would you have to make to get 387? So, let's say in that
For the month.
um for the month. And let's go to that $2,000 idea, right? So $2,000, we said, how can you make $2,000? And we broke it down. So Fatima said, okay, I just have to sell 10 bundles a week. So let's say Fatima signs up for a multi-stream machine, takes the $387 payment plan option. It's for the next 6 months. But Fatima sells the $387, $400. She's making her $2,000 in that first month. She's done with her payments. She's paid back the entire thing just by selling
Mhm,
10 bundles a week for the next 4 weeks. She's paid the whole thing off in the first 30 days. So guess what? She can keep making the payments, or she can, contact us and pay the whole thing down, whatever she wants to do. But she's now made $2,000 in a month. She has proof she can make 2,000. So once you've paid the course, then every other $2,000 a month is money in your pocket,
You go
right? So
back
we've
there, there's
just
another cake for you to eat. You go back, another cake.
and 2,000 is not your limit. 2,000 is where we
Yeah,
want you to start. So think
right.
about that, right? Like, we just told you each how to add $2,000 in a month to your business, and that's that payment plan, or that's the pay in full option. So yes, it's 387 a month for 6 months. It's a 6-month payment plan. I know that you could make, let's just say, once a month you make 387 in a week. The rest of it stays in your pocket, and
Mhm.
once a month you do something that you can make another
I
400
would
bucks.
think like one order a week or something would do it,
Could pay
right?
it off.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it could pay it off. So it's like, okay, I'm going to sell these 10 and then this 11th one of these is going to pay for multi-stream machine, right? And then the next week I'm going to make 10 sales and one on the top like a cherry on the top that goes to multi-stream machine, right? And you just do that for the month and then you're done
Because it
with that
compounds. Like,
month.
let's say it's a
Yeah.
$50 order, right? And you
Yeah.
kind of add those in. So I think I want you to look at it. You stalled it, right? Okay, there you are. I
Mhm.
think that's how I want you to look at it when you're thinking about, payment plans. Can I afford this? That we've shown you how easy it is. So there is that payment plan, or if you do the pay in full option, which is 1997, it's one payment. You get the pay in full bonus, which is the 90-day roadmap. And 70% of you signed up for the pay in full option because of this bonus and the live virtual ticket to us teaching it. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to read this from Amanda. Amanda said, I remember when I first heard you say we all can make $2,000 a month, right? We all can make $2,000 a month. That's at minimum. And I believed it for the first time. Now I make $5,500 a month and growing, right? It takes pulling the lid off of there and breaking it down where your mind really understands it. So thank you for sharing that, Amanda. And I think it's way beyond, like, you're literally catapulting, right?
Mhm.
And Mela says, I know that I need to work on my mindset first. So I want to address this a little bit. If you're saying that you need to be of a certain mindset, then it's kind of like the person that says, well, I need to wait until I'm ready, right? But if not now, then when? Because a lot of the times, if you need to work on mindset, you're not just simply going to wake up one day and be like, no, this is it. Because mindset is a journey. It truly is. And that's why, like, a lot of times we'll go through loops in our brain, or we all think certain things or whatever. And it's a continuous journey of us playing around with how we're wired. And you're not simply going to wake up and be like, now I think differently. You have to actually insert yourself into different environments, and you have to, like, think about, okay, what are the things that I can improve on the way that I think that I want to improve? Well, it's done through different things like courses, people, um, action, right? That's where the clarity and the awareness comes from. So don't wait until you're of the right mindset first, because when you get into a multi-stream machine, you literally are changing your mindset as you go through the modules, because it helps you think about things in a different, easier way so you can be focused.
Right. And mindset shifts start to come with confidence.
Yeah, they
And
sure do.
confidence comes when you have knowledge, right? So yesterday we were so like floored by Michelle of Ollie J Dresses. So last night on happy hour, she was with us, and we haven't actually we talked to her through DM, but we haven't
Mhm.
worked with her in a couple of years. And we worked with her when she made her first wholesale order, made a thousand
Yep,
dollars the week after.
2019.
Yeah, signing up for MSM, she made $1,000, and then we've kind of kept track of her, and she's updated us, and I haven't seen her. And I saw her yesterday, and I was like, she has transformed like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Like she has this confidence about her. She's confident in her product now. She has strategy behind her. Now that took a couple, and she may have been like that before, but from what I saw yesterday, she seemed so different. And it wasn't, and it's not because of the money that she's making. It's the confidence that she has in her abilities. It's the confidence that she has in her business. It's the confidence she has in
Uh-huh.
the support she has
She
around her.
realized how capable she was, right?
Mhm.
So, with given the right tools, even when we first met her, she felt really overwhelmed that she had to keep discounting her stuff to influencers to try to sell her stuff that would come back in and reap the discounts again. She couldn't sell without discounts. And so it really was deflating to her. Like, the things that she was doing were not working. So she started a multi-stream machine, and she even throughout if you go back into the Facebook group, talked about how she's like, wholesale is my strength. So she really thought, okay, wholesale is my strength. So she wrote on a piece of paper, let's just vision this for her. Wholesale is my strength. This is the way I want to go. It might look different for all of you. This is Michelle that I'm talking about. And she realized that she could sell a certain number of dresses to get to a certain revenue that she wanted. And she grew it from there, right? So the first year, what was it? It went from 11,000 to, I don't know if I'm mixing up my stories, but
I
but
think it
last
was
year
like
she went to
11,000 to like 80,000, or like 150,000 to
uh-huh.
like 344,000 last
Yeah,
year.
344,777. It's like we've talked about her so much that we know the number now. And then now she's on a seven-figure track. That might look different from you, but she started exactly where all the rest of us did, right? She started with one main thing that she was trying to do. She felt overwhelmed and she wanted to do something different, and even her knowledge compounded from there. Even her confidence compounded from there, right? Because there's nothing worse than trying something over and over and over, it not working, and you feeling deflated, and then all around you're not making money, and you're not you feel bad about it, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
she was totally different. It was such a fun, like, it felt so full circle. I felt so proud, because we had other people on there. We had Nikki, we had Nicole, we had Brooke, which feels so proud too. But Michelle was even further back from 2019 to now. And in the 3 years has built herself close to $1 million business. So you could really
And
see the before and the after. It felt surreal, let me tell you.
yeah, I think, and that's the thing, right? Like, so when it's a mindset thing, it takes action, it takes forward movement, right? Because if you
Yeah,
keep trying the same thing and it feels like it's stuck, it starts to take chip away at you. I do want to
yeah.
answer this question over on
Okay.
Instagram from Cool Creations. Hello, on your site it mentions that the program includes 2 live 90-minute group coaching sessions with you two. Can you share a little bit more about those sessions and are those dates already set? Great question. So, as one of the bonuses to our new class, this new spring class, you get access to 2 group coaching sessions that are with Mina and myself on Zoom. And
Mhm,
what happens is we will give you a prompt to pre-submit questions. Then we'll select questions from there because a lot of times people come in for coaching specifically to their businesses, and it would be quite irresponsible of us to coach you so specifically because we don't know all the details. But we will answer questions about multi-stream machines. So I'm in the Amazon module and you say this and I'm trying this, or I want to
mhm,
sell wholesale. I see you gave us the line sheets. I'm using your cost sheets because the first session tends to be a lot of people also ask about the
mhm,
costing and pricing. And
mhm.
we will take those questions and we'll answer them in this live Zoom call. And it's like a 90-minute call. You'll also get the recordings, and everyone else in Multi-Stream Machine will also get to watch those recordings in the future. And you get the
Mhm.
replay. So there's 2 of those. If you can't make it, because the questions aren't necessarily live, they're pre-submitted questions, you will still potentially get your question answered, or a version of your question answered, because again, a lot of you asked the exact same question. And so what will happen is if you can't make the live session, so no worries on the date, you'll get the replay. And then there's a way to see, do we have tracking on what questions are asked in the program?
I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so. Yeah.
Mhm,
So, but the questions will get asked, and there's 2 of those. Now, some people who have signed up are also getting extra coaching because they signed up for that 12-week bonus, which was the audio coaching. So, here's what I want to say to all of you. Okay, this is a big announcement before we kind of wrap up. If you sign up today before the doors close, you will get access to all of the bonuses, even if they went away. So, not the pay in full bonus, okay, but you will get access to the things that disappeared. So, you'll get access to the how to build your email list. You'll get access to someone just signed up. So, you'll get access to the how to build your email list. It's got 24 tested and tried ways to build your email list
mhm.
easily without spending any money on ads. You will all get the 12 weeks of extra coaching support that will be delivered to you via podcast. So
Yeah,
questions
so
will
it's
be submitted.
audio. It's like Ask J&M, Jacqueline and Minna, but it's delivered to you in the podcast, a private podcast for you, so you can take us on the go. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
like, your
only
coaches
available
in your pocket.
It's only available to multi-stream machine students. It's not on the
Yeah.
big podcast. It's a private podcast for multi-stream machine students where once a week we will have questions submitted. You will all have the opportunity to ask a question, and then we will answer those questions on the podcast. We'll select questions and answer them. Okay. So it's 12 weeks of extra coaching, how to build your email list, and also a bonus that disappeared yesterday, which were 15 essential email templates. So let us write the emails for you. You'll also get access to that fast action bonus plus all of the other bonuses.
Yeah.
So that
So
is we're
yesterday's
giving
was
them
done
all.
for you templates, nearly done for
Mhm.
you. So it wasn't we wrote them for you already. We're not going to write them for you. You get the bundle of all of them written. So we're talking the ones for your customers, the one for like if you want to reach out to a boutique like a wholesaler, you can copy and paste, edit and then send. So really it's just a copy and paste. We call them swipe files, but I don't know if everybody understands that wording. And then to suppliers and manufacturers as well. So if you want to ask questions to like new suppliers so you can save costs, you can copy and paste and send as well. Make sure you edit, obviously, but it's a
Yeah.
nearly done for you templates.
How to reach out to retail stores. And then there's also 4 DMs to send to work with influencers. Okay. So all you have to do is copy, paste, edit it to tweak, which we give you prompts and examples, and then paste it again and send it out. Super easy. So Alicia just signed up. Welcome, Alicia. You
Yay,
got your husband on
Alicia.
board?
That's awesome.
What's his name? And can we say thank you to him? Bring him over and let us know his name, and we will say thank you for believing in you and all that you have to do. Okay, and then Fit Stitch Gear did it. You just signed up too. I did it. I'm so ready. I need this. What's your name, Fit Stitch Gear? So we can say welcome to MSM, but welcome to MSM. Really proud of you for taking the leap. Okay, I'm getting messages everywhere. You also all just got an email.
A text message, I think. I don't know. Right.
It's
My
everywhere.
phone is literally lighting up.
We just sent an email and text, so you're going to see us in a lot of places. Anna, welcome to Multi-Stream Machine.
Yay. Welcome, Anna. Patrick, shout out to Patrick for being a supportive husband and knowing that you can do it and having you invest in yourself. And now, Alicia, you take the action, okay? We believe in you. All of us do. And you make it happen. We really know that you can do it.
Yeah, and Patrick, if you're listening, thank you for believing in Alicia. Okay, thank you for believing in her and her passion to build this business and to give it a try, right? Because what's the worst that's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? Nothing. Like, we're not going to die from building businesses. So the worst that's going to happen is that something may not work and we'll pivot and we'll change. He's listening, okay? But Patrick, you're a supportive spouse that supports Alicia in her dreams, and thank you for giving her and giving her this opportunity in the way of her confidence and helping her jump into this. So thank you, and we're so
And
excited that
passing her
you're in
the
MSM.
ball. You can do it, Alicia.
Yes. Indy Stitch Subbox said, I joined this morning. I'm excited to dig in. Welcome, my friend. Margie says, can I call her husband? Sure. Give us his number. We can leave him a DM. Fatima says, does Multi-Stream Machine give you resource recommendations in the systems module, like the best way to keep track of inventory, how to build a good website, and what engine you recommend? It does.
Yeah.
So we
So in
actually,
every module, it's not like, hey, track your inventory. It's literally how to do it. So we give you the different ways how you could do it as a small business. And we literally tell you specifics of this is this way. This is this way. If you use this software, this is this way, so there's different ways that you can do it. And one of the ways is pen to paper, and we give you the exact forms to fill out as you're doing it. So it really is such actionable things, and it's an implementation program, so that is definitely in there.
yeah. And Happy Little Mother says, I signed up for a Multi-Stream Machine weeks ago. Do I get these bonuses? Yes, you will get the bonuses. So
Mm-hmm.
the one that's not available right now, because we're going to need to gather the questions, is the 12 weeks of extra coaching. And that will be set up. We're closing the doors today. We're going to welcome all the new students, and we're going to get that going. But everything else should be available to you and in your dashboard. So let the team sort of implement all of that and welcome in all the new students. So if you sign up today, we're giving you the whole kit and caboodle. So minus if you pay in full, you get the 90-day roadmap, and that's the only way to get that.
Yeah,
But
right.
Otherwise, any fast action bonuses that were up and then disappeared, we're going to give it to everyone because we know it's going to support all of you. Okay.
Yeah. So sign
Yes.
up, because it really is like, who was it that asked if that stuff was in there? We always actually try to love on the existing Multi-Stream Machine students to help you through your journey, because we know that the bonuses are really going to help you. We create them literally so they can help you. And we really are wanting to see all of you succeed. So yes, of course you get access to those, because that way you can jump right into them and kind of refuel what you need to do.
Yes, I love everyone welcoming our new students. Danson Hughes Studio says MSM is worth every penny. Kelly of Fragrance says welcome to all the new members. If you don't see things in your dashboard, you can always email TMAT, but it's the templates. It's the done for you templates.
Yeah,
And
I
in
don't think
there,
that they added it. Literally, we just decided to do this everybody gets everything thing right now. So give it, I mean, the doors haven't even closed yet. So that's why they didn't just give everybody access quite yet. I bet the team is still working on it. So
yes.
Amanda Lee, you'll definitely see it in there. I also had them add the done method from yesterday too. So like the PDF. So that will help all of you that are really thinking about the time constraint that you have. And so jump in there, and I feel like they're still in the works of doing all this
Yeah,
stuff.
it says that that
Mhm.
one's added and everyone's saying it's on page 2 and it's the templates.
Okay.
Okay, so, Fit Stitch Gear says, "Listening to this week's businesses was what really sold me. I really liked hearing from them and where they started." Amazing, Anna, and thank you and welcome to Multi-Stream Machine. Happy Little Mother says, "One other question. I really wanna dig into the 30 days of content. Is that an MSM or separate?" So a year of content is a separate tool that we've created for you. It's just $37. So if you want to add that to your portal, head to a yearofcontent.com and you can invest in that as well. We have people that have invested in everything that we've
Mhm.
offered, and they're even in our masterminds, which are close to $20,000 a year. So, there's things that we offer in different parts. So a yearofcontent.com and you can grab that for just $37.
Right, and there's no overlap, so having one does not, um, you know,
Overlap the other.
overlap the other. It's having a bunch of tools in your tool set. So
Yeah.
that's really the idea of it.
So going back to the question about resources, there is our Year of Content resource guide that's in there with over 300 resources for product-based business owners specifically. So inside, it's another bonus that's inside there that will have places for packaging and different apps we recommend and mailing systems and things like that. Right? Then, like Mina said, if we are teaching about a website, we're going to give you our recommendations, but it does not mean that that recommendation is exactly what you have to use. Someone used our SEO module, which we teach you how to bring more traffic to your website. It was Rachel. She used it to bring more traffic to her Etsy site, right? So
Mhm.
if you're looking, a lot of people said they want to know, we asked what kind of bonuses would you want? And a bunch of people said how to get more people going to my website, right? Like how do I drive more traffic to my website? That's literally the entire course of Multi-Stream Machine in one, but also in the SEO part. So a lot of the things you're asking for are already inside.
Mhm.
So, okay, so that is our special announcement. Anyone else on the fence? I know we've gone a little bit over the hour. Anyone else on the fence that we can answer any final questions? Otherwise, we have another announcement to make. So this will be the last bosses and breakfast that we do for a while. We are going to take a hiatus to spend
Oh, I
time
think
with
it's next week.
next week's our last one.
Yeah. March 1st is next week?
I think it's March 2nd.
March 2nd, yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
next week will be our last one.
Mhm.
So we're gonna take a
I think
hiatus
so.
after that.
Mhm.
Is it
Did you
today?
read this
It's
in the
next week?
notes perhaps?
I'm not in the notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, let's pull back on this announcement. So, we still have to kind of iron out what we want to do, what we're going to be doing. So, um,
It's more of we're just gonna take a break for a second because we
mhm,
want to model for all of you that we're gonna also spend time with our family and work on really welcoming in our students into Multi-Stream Machine. So, but it'll be next week will be the last one for a little bit. So we're really
mhm,
excited because everyone that wants support from us get inside of Multi-Stream Machine. That's where we are. That's where you're going to get those 2 weeks, those 2 different group coaching sessions. That's where you're
yeah,
going to get the 12 weeks of support.
yeah,
So make sure that you jump in to Multi-Stream Machine to continue to have the support from the product boss and the product boss team.
yeah. Right. We're switching gears into there. So get in there because we're so excited to really tackle, this onboarding all the people of spring 2022. We're super pumped. And we've had so many people already sign up. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you sign up because it is only a handful of hours before the doors close until deep into the fall time. And then, just think where you could be with your business by then, right?
Absolutely. And then take a look at your emails today. We did give you a behind the scenes this morning, a behind the scenes of what's inside of Multi-Stream Machine. So if you're on the fence still, go ahead and watch that and we're going to show you what's behind the scenes so you can see all the things that you get. All right, my friends, thank you so much. We're so excited for the new students that hopped in and to see those of you that sign up today before the doors close tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is just 7 hours away.
Yay. And thank you for everybody that signed up live with us today. We're so pumped. We'll talk to you later.